With me, as always, is Graham, Chris Redfield Mason.
It's me, your brother.
That's really good. I genuinely thought Wentworth Miller had just walked in onto this podcast.
It seems like Wentworth Miller,
hey,
by the way.
This is Graham back in the room. Excuse me, Wentworth. I'll take over from here.
It was kind of Wentworth Miller this way of like Keanu Reeves, but I'm still into it.
Yeah.
And the other voice you heard was, of course, Matt Zombie Dog Dykes. Oh, it's a goofy one. I get that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see what you did there.
Yep.
That was better.
Gosh.
Both of those were better than your Wahahooies, but the Wahahooies are very hard to do, so no judgments. But I feel like talking about them in like a normal tone of voice, like, your Wahahooie could have used a little bit more work.
I mean, I could have done the Wahahooie louder, but I feel like it would have just been like a garbled mess. So like when I do it really loud, it is a lot better, but you know,
that's the thing that sells it. It has to be at the right volume, but again, you don't want to blow your mic out. So.
Yeah, it would have blown the mic out if I'd done the full thing.
That's just not worth it.
And it is 4:22 in the morning here, so I don't want to wake up everyone in the house.
Sure.
So once again, a big thanks to Matt for waking up at the beyond the ass crack of dawn to talk about a movie that I'm sure he loved.
It's all for a good cause. Just remember that. It's all for a good cause.
It's all for entertaining the masses, and I am all about entertaining the masses. All four of you.
Right.
I mean, I gotta say, I did enjoy this movie a lot more this time than I did the other 3 times I've seen it.
This is the first time I watched this movie, and I did not enjoy it.
Really? Did you like it better than last week's?
I preferred last week's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Graham, you weren't here last week. We ended last week with, this one's actually pretty good. Joel even ended with, it's the best of the franchise. Granted, he hasn't seen the back half, but...
But has he seen this one?
So
this one's in 3D.
Oh my god. Is it? I couldn't
tell.
tell.
It's got more dimensions.
That's why it looks so fucking weird. There's something about it that just looked odd. Like,
how in the previous versions of this movie, right? You could say some of their characters were one-dimensional. You can't say that about this movie.
Nope.
Excellent.
So I kind of want to set the scene a little bit for everybody before we really dive into this movie. There's something with the Resident Evil franchise that I feel like it's just 2 separate trilogies. You have like the Apocalypse trilogy, which is like all about the end of the world, a little cyberpunky, but like people versus zombies. And then you have the back half trilogy, which I don't really have a good name for it, but it's basically Alice versus Umbrella. You guys think that's kind of fair? From what you've seen, which granted might only be part 4, but that's kind of where I feel like is the right way to talk about this. Like this is we've just started the Alice versus Umbrella saga. If you
Alice takes crack cocaine,
or that.
Sure.
I mean, it just feels like whoever wrote it was on something at the time.
Man, what was that series?
Do this and do this.
Cranked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes,
it's like that.
It is like Cranked.
Yeah, it is a little cranked up.
It's like Cranked with zombies.
Yep.
But I will say, knowing that going in this time has made at least part 4. We'll see with part 5. Part 5 is famously my least favorite of the franchise, so we'll see next week. But it did make part 4 a lot more enjoyable. I was able to just kind of like let my own baggage go and just be like, all right, we've reached fuck it, and here we are, and there's gonna be a big bad. And what's the big bad this time? I don't know. It's a dude with an axe. Why is he there?
Reasons.
He's got an axe. He's got an axe to grind.
He's big.
Why is he so big? How is he so big? We don't know, but he looks fucking cool.
Yep. No, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're exactly right. Of like, all right, strap in. And then once you've strapped in, then it's go time. And that's and then the movie. And then after whatever, an hour and 35 minutes, then the movie ends. And you're like, all right, what's next?
Yeah. As long as you're willing to say fuck it along with the movie, I think you're in for a good ride. But you do kind of have to just go like, is anything going to make sense? Nah, not really. Is Ali Larter going to try to act? She sure is. Anything else? Nah.
Great.
There's going to be some cool stunts, kind of. Some shitload of slow-mo.
We're going to put Wentworth Miller in another prison.
Yeah, right.
This one's a little bit easier for him to break out of. He just kind of had to wait.
Yeah. He didn't really have to break out. He just had to, like, please let me out. No.
Hey, will you let me out?
Oh,
No.
okay.
You? No. You? No. You? Maybe. Okay, yeah, I will. And there you go. But okay, let's do our quick breakdown. And of course, as this would, at least the first 10 minutes of the movie would have you believe, is Attack of the Clones. So of course that means Graham has to do the breakdown.
Right, I'm gonna get a quick nap and
It's gonna be quick. Cause
strap in.
strap in. It's gonna come flying fast and quick at your faces. So, so I'll make it easy on everybody, and I'll just, like this movie does, reference other movies that have been successful. And so
what I'm trying to say is, do I have time to make a medium-sized family meal?
Your eyebrows are about to get blown off of how fast this shit's gonna go. Okay.
And go.
So, Resident Evil 4 is...
Oh, God. Off to a great start.
You can cut this into, like, regular speaking, right? Just cut out, like, the 3-second pauses.
Man, I had it all built up, and now you're fucking knocking it down. All right, Resident Evil. We start off Tokyo Drift meets The Matrix meets Walking Dead, World War Z, and then we go into Prison Break, and then The Descent, and then Resident Evil 5. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty annoyingly spot on. God damn this movie.
And I think that had them in order.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
You got me with the Descent for a second. I'm like, there's no Descent in here. Oh, wait, I guess there kind of is, isn't there?
Yep.
We don't really see that movie. Luther's kind of stuck in the cave living the Descent, but we do see the beginning of it.
Yeah. It's kind of, we see the beginning of them going in the tunnel, descending, and then there's the creepy thing, and we're like, ah! And then we kind of fast forward, and then, leave Luther to continue Descent, and then they do their kind of World War Z thing on the boat, and then...
I mean, Luther surviving...
They start playing video games on the boat?
Yeah.
Luther surviving just felt so much like a studio note of like, oh no, the audience like this character. Bring him back. It's like, well, we've finished everything. Oh, just shoot a quick scene of him coming out of the pipe alive with no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, we don't need to spend a ton of time on Luther because the movie sure doesn't, but I'm kind of fine with him surviving because we've seen so many people get dragged off a screen by zombies, and that's the last you ever seen of him. It's kind of nice to have one guy be like, nah, fuck you, I won. I
don't mind it. It just feels like a studio note.
Yeah, you're probably
after they've
right.
Finished. It's like, no, let him survive. The audience likes him.
Right. After they killed the producer character.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm a
think
producer. That is the weirdest fucking threat ever.
I feel like Paul W.S. Anderson had a problem with the producer at some point and took out a lot of anger on this guy. Like the fact that he didn't get like a full Day of the Dead like style, like slowly pulling the body apart death kind of surprises me. Like it really felt like he wanted to take out some aggression.
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
the
that was
offcuts.
probably in there.
Yeah,
but
that's the
producer,
stuff that's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
that was a whole 30-minute sequence.
The producer who he had a problem with was like, nah, cut that out. And I know what you're doing, dickhead.
We're still going to release it, but, fuck you. You didn't have to be that mean to me.
All I said was, could you just make the films a bit better?
I mean, if that was the note I got, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my breakdown. Suck it.
I'll say this. It was your best yet. So, we've already kind of hinted this. We've already kind of answered it, but let's get a firm on the table. Do we like it? And I'll go first. At first, I saw this in theaters. I did not like it. Then I bought it for my wife because that was a tradition for a long time. Of every time there's a Resident Evil movie, I'd buy it for her for Christmas. So I bought it for her, and we watched it again, and neither one of us liked it. And then I didn't watch it forever until now. And this time, and I talked about this a lot last week, where I'm like, I think I'm enjoying this rewatch because I'm just framing it differently. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun with this one. Like, I know it's stupid. I get that it's stupid. It does not give a shit really about anything. It's just like, what bullshit excuse can we have to put Milla Jovovich in a room with guns and have her shoot at stuff. Does she have to hit stuff? Nah, not really. She's gonna be firing 2 guns the whole time, so she's gonna miss fucking everything. But it's gonna look cool.
Except for quarter shotguns.
Well,
And we'll just destroy everything.
and that's even the quarter shotguns. I'm like, man, that's really dumb. I kind of like it though. Like the one quarter kind of stuck in the wall at one time with a little bit of blood on it. Like, yeah, it's dumb, but I liked it.
I mean, what
And
it's,
how
saying,
she
what
pours
it's
the
really
bu-
saying is money can save the day.
Oh, absolutely. As long as you have a plane and money, you're good. You know?
I feel like I'd rather have a helicopter, but the plane led for an action sequence where they had to crash land onto a roof, so you can't have a helicopter.
Yeah. I mean, planes can be used as gliders. Helicopters, they kind of need to be working to fly.
That is
So-
true.
Without the rotors working, it's just a brick.
Yeah,
That's true.
Unless it's like you can kind of treat it like a gyrocopter and like lead it into the wind, but you can only do that for so long. I mean, granted, you can only glide for so long, but I feel like you're more successful gliding than.
You can have a much softer landing with gliding, I feel, than without. With a helicopter without the rotors. I feel like that's going to be much harder a landing.
Yeah.
Matt, you said you did not enjoy this one.
Not really. I mean, there's elements of it that I enjoyed, and I did like, yes, this is insane. This is completely insane. So I had like a bit of a base level enjoyment, but just in general, I just thought there was a lot of stuff in it. I was thinking, why are they doing that? What is they were having like dialogue scenes, and then for no reason, like not even tense dialogue, but there was just this tense music like playing underneath it for no reason, and it just was. It got to the point where it was irritating the fuck out of me. I was like, just shut up, turn the music down, or turn it off, or something. It's like it's pointless. You don't.
That
have
was
to have
just a
music
problem they had.
constantly.
That was a problem they had on production. Just somebody was just constantly walking through the scene with a boombox. And they're like, we'll just put it in. I guess just keep the music.
Yeah, some PAs just cruising around the set with a boombox. Like, can you get him to go away? Nah, he's the producer's son. And Paul W. Sanderson's like, I'm gonna fuck that producer up.
Fucking producer.
Paul, what are you doing? What are you scribbling down? Oh, I'm just writing in one piece of dialogue in this scene.
It's critical to the story.
It really ties the whole room together.
Hey, Graham, you said you kind of enjoyed this one, right?
I loved it. It was awesome. I mean, come on. Do you not like Tokyo Drift, The Matrix, whole series? Because we get all 3 of them in this movie.
You do.
Walking Dead, World War Z, Prison Break, or Descent. And other movies that I'm sure that I missed. If you don't like any of those movies, then you're not going to enjoy this. But if you like any of those movies, you should like at least portions of this movie. Because they're all in it.
I mean, it was odd. It felt like 3 separate shorter films that were stitched together a little bit. So you've got the opening sequence, which felt like its own thing. Then you got the middle sequence in the prison, which felt like its own thing. Then you've got the thing on the boat at the end, which felt like it was its own thing. I don't know. It just felt very odd. I mean, I kept thinking, okay, so this is the end now. Then no, we're still going. We're doing the Lord of the Rings thing then, are we?
But it is kind of like, and it's also like if you want to look at it as 3 movies in one, it is kind of funny how it is kind of an arc at the same time because you start. And I tried to warn you guys, don't get attached to the clones because they're not going to stick around very long.
How many more clones, damn it?
Yeah, they're all killed off immediately, and then they go. I just want to talk about the first movie in the 3 just for a second because there's really nothing in it. The whole first 20 minutes exists to really just go, okay, so we wrote ourselves into a corner. We made Alice way too fucking powerful, and we gave her a shit ton of clones. Can we just retcon all of that in like 20 minutes? Sure. It's like they do it in video games all the time. Like, have you ever played an RPG? The second you start up the second RPG, for some reason, you lost all your powers again, Sora. And it's like, sorry, Brock. But it's a video game trope, and I don't question it in video games, so I'm also not going to question it here. I did the first 2 viewings, to be totally fair. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Why would he just magically have a needle that just negates all of her powers? I'm like, well, so the movie can happen. All right, I'm into it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of ridiculous.
But again, it's like, if you treat, like, as we did, I think it was the second one, to where it's like, no, they literally just took these characters out of the video game and then put them in this movie. If you were to take this new Wesker, which we haven't yet talked about on this podcast, but a new Wesker, right? New Agent Smith. If you were to take him and his idea of the Umbrella Corporation out of the video game and put him in this world, of course, why the fuck not? Why wouldn't he have a version of anti-T virus? Like, of course he would fucking have that. And of course he would have it in his fucking hand while he's also flying a fucking helicopter. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have any powers left, but he really... You know what? He forgot to give her the injection of the plot armor injection because she didn't have any powers, but she still managed to survive a huge helicopter crash.
Well, she's still a badass.
Right. And again, so, of course, as one does... I was watching this with my wife, and she next to me, like as she's jumping midair. I think this was one of the 17 kicks to the head that the big axe dragger guy was carrying. He's like, "Oh, by the way, she lost all of her powers." You're like, "Wait, but she's yeah. She can still jump fucking 7 feet in the air and do kicks and backflips and all this other shit, but she doesn't have powers."
She can't melt his mind anymore, but she's still a badass.
Yeah, well, Luther could jump about 20 feet in the air to grab the tail of the plane.
I mean, but he's an athlete, you know?
He's an athlete.
It's different.
Athlete, B, watch model. He can definitely do both of those.
Yeah. Were you paying attention to his watch?
His watch was so heavy, it brought the whole plane down. Did you think that was just him?
Oh, is that what it was?
It was the
platinum.
watch.
Yep, the platinum.
It's a heavy watch. Luther's fucking ripped. He should have fought the axe guy. Like, what a waste of time.
Well, he attempted to and shot him in the head like 17 times, and nothing happened. But then after 3 shotgun blasts to the chests, he's gone.
I mean,
but
that
hey,
tracks. That makes sense to me. I mean, the last shotgun blast did obliterate his head, so there was at least that.
And half of his torso. Yeah,
and half.
I mean, it was those explosive quarters, though.
You know, I wasn't going to say it, but that's the price of inflation for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's...
Fucking hell.
That was so much better than the joke I was going to go with.
Yeah, mine was just a point about, all those quarters that explode. You've got to be very careful, like, slamming your change down in stores in case it goes off. Wait, Graham's is way better.
Graham's is way better. Mine was closer to Matt's. Oh, God.
And I have no shame, so I will, like, quite happily make myself look like a fool.
I just won't, because I'd cut mine out anyways.
You leave all mine in, so I've just accepted the fact that you're going to come out of this looking like roses, and I'm going to come out looking like an idiot. Might as well.
Well, as long as you're cool with it.
As long as you're aware of it, then we're good.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull out one of your laughs one of these times. You're not going to say a single thing in the entire episode, but just laugh to Graham, Joel, and I as we're talking.
Great.
There's Matt just laughing to himself.
And then just
Sorry,
at the end
Matt
of it,
just had nothing to add this week. All right, let's get back to the movie. So let's talk a little bit about movie number 2. I really like how Matt framed this. It's working out well for me on this discussion. So movie number 2 is kind of season 2 of Walking Dead. They're stuck in a prison.
Season 3.
Is it season 3? I thought it was season 2.
Yeah, season 2 is when they were on that fucking farm for ages. It's like, just get off the fucking farm.
Yeah, that explains why I forgot about season 2, because I just wanted to forget season 2.
Yeah.
So season 3 of Walking Dead. Yeah, you're right. It is just straight up like, oh yeah, they're just living in a prison now. But there was something that I did enjoy about it. Like, I'm never going to be out here to say that Paul W. Sanderson is the world's strongest director, but he does know how to entertain people. Like, I put him in the same ballpark with like Tim Story, Steven Sommers, like those sort of guys who are like, no, you're going to have fun watching their movies. They're not going to win Best Director, but you're going to have a lot of fun watching them. But I do appreciate the world building he tried to do here. I think it was, for the most part, successful. I like that the world is over. Like, the apocalypse, the extinction, it's done. And so finding this one pocket of people that somehow managed to survive, and when they finally see a plane that they're so sure is coming to save them, and it just crashes and a woman steps out and is like, oh no, I was just happy to find people. Everyone is dead. Everyone. Like, it's so bleak, and I actually think he did a pretty good job of handling that. Like, the amount of anger that these people would have for that message makes sense. Like, I think it all kind of worked. I thought, like, he was actually doing pretty well there for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I absolutely loved the design, the production design on the prison as well. You know, all the wooden torches sticking out of the walls and things like that. I thought it was a really, really nice design. You know, like how would we light a prison when there's very little electricity? Well, you go back to torches, like flame torches. Okay, so let's line the walls with them. I thought like that was a really, really cool sort of set.
Yeah, for sure.
It was probably an actual prison that they filmed in. Usually
Honestly, I have no idea. It could be the same set from fucking Walking Dead for all I know.
Yeah.
Probably was.
As they were flying over it, I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
But yeah, you're right. It was fun, and also kind of you don't really get the cinematography in the beginning or the end of the movie, but you really see a lot of it in the second. And since we have Graham here, I'll let him kind of take the reins in a moment. But I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. So this movie used the same camera equipment that they used to film Avatar. They used it throughout all of their fucking advertising. They were very proud that this is the second movie coming out that's using this equipment and this technology. Clearly, they're not quite as skilled with the technology as, say, James Cameron's crew is, but it's still cool that they attempted to do something new-ish and different-ish than what other people were doing at the time. But this also it brought to light a really funny thing that happens in film every now and then, where, like, when you go back to the days when there was no sound to when they introduced sound, suddenly all the cinematography just goes out the fucking window, and all they care about is getting people in the right spot where they can be heard, and the camera just has to get it on screen. Who gives a shit about anything else? And I feel like this movie is a very good example of the same thing, but from 3D. And Graham, you've actually worked in 3D before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3D, and then multi-camera arrays and stuff like that.
Can you explain a little bit of the difficulties of that, and like why, like, although this movie isn't poorly shot, it just looks off?
Well, this also too is a different. I mean, the Avatar technology is insane, and it's where you are actually shooting on a stage where the cameras are all CG. Basically, they're all just points, like GPS waypoints on a grid, and then all of the actors are acting amongst the space, and then the camera has its own the quote camera, heavy air quotes, which is basically just a PS4 controller with a fucking screen on it. It's basically just where they're picking to be in that space. That's how most of Avatar was done, because all their characters were that. And so, but with 3D, you're working with two cameras, on one array, which doubles the difficulty in capturing anything. And then, you have to dial everything in to make sure that you get your scare points, your jump points. You're pointing to the camera, like literal points and stuff like that, to make sure that works. And so there's a lot more technical stuff that you have to find. And then you're not going to be able to get as artistic, like Dutch camera angles, or do as much Steadicam work, or, anything like that, because you just gotta, the camera is so big, and you don't want to, producers want to still play it safe, because they don't want to make
fucking producers
right. They don't want to make the whole audience. They don't want to make the whole audience puke, right? And this was another thing with VR, to where it's like,
oh yeah,
okay, yeah, you can't really move the camera unless it's like attached to a thing that moves, and then it's like you have to write new rules. Like, you can't be like, oh, let's just treat it like a camera, like we've already shot everything else. And it's like, yeah, people are gonna fucking pass out and vomit. Like, you just can't do that. And this is 2010. We were still, 3D was on its whatever new wave was at that time.
Third wave, I think.
Fucking 10th. And it's just like, all right, it's kind of a old new technology, so let's try to use the new tools, but let's use it as we've done it before, but with a twist. And it's like, there's no twist. It's just the same fucking thing. But it is difficult. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff that you have to get right, and then producers want to play it safe. They're already spending twice as much money on the cameras as they would, so it's just, yeah, let's just get the thing that works and then move on, please.
And didn't Mila break one of them as well? Like,
she broke a
record.
She broke a plate that was protecting the camera. She didn't actually fuck up the camera though.
Right.
So it's kind of it's a little unfortunate because I don't think this movie, and Graham, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think it's poorly shot. I just think that because they were working so hard with all this other equipment and technology and whatnot, they did exactly what you said. They played it safe. And coming off of part 3 that I think is shot rather well. Like, it's a very like visually engaging movie, to go to this one that's a lot more static. They try to get your attention with like a little bit more like atmosphere. Like, there's always for some reason, like every time there's action, there's some shit flying around in the air, whether it's water or just random debris. Like, they try to make it more visually entertaining, but if you just look at the frame, it's like all the framework in this is rather boring.
Yeah, because you try to work with layers, basically, with 3D.
It feels very artificial as well. Like, a lot of the...
Oh, yeah, I mean, a lot of it
stuff,
was shot on green screen.
Yeah, but it's not just, like, shot on green screen as well. It's, like, the... something about, like, just the way it's shot in general. It just... Everything sort of felt really artificial. Like, they wanted to do... I'm guessing they wanted to make Los Angeles look like post-apocalyptic. But it was almost like they didn't have the budget to do it, so it just kind of especially the establishing shots of the prison, where is there a fucking prison in the middle of LA?
Yeah, what is this, Chicago?
Yeah, and it just, I don't know, like you could just see that it was all CG fire and smoke, and it just felt very fake, very artificial from that standpoint as well, and it's like. And then you've got the scenes where, you know, clear. There's literally a couple of scenes where I was looking at thinking, the actors even on set together at this point? Because it literally looked like they just shot one actor and then green screened them into the actual shot.
There were definitely moments like that, but I honestly think they did keep them together. I think it was just that it was green screened, so it just looked like they were cut out because they were cut out of the environment they were in, although they happened to be together. I could be wrong, but from the little bit that I've seen, like behind the scenes and stuff, I think that's probably what happened. But needless to say, like, this one just has a little bit more of that stuff, and it wears it a little bit, I think, probably accidentally on its sleeve. So it makes this one easier to kind of nitpick and not have as much fun with. And that's why I'm personally very glad that I'm able to kind of reach fuck it along with the movie and just like, who cares about all that bullshit? Like, I'm just going to have fun watching it. Like, yes, these are the list of things that didn't work well. But at the end of the day, Milla Jovovich is still having a great time. Like, clearly is still having a great time. She's chewing the scenery when she needs to. She's not when she needs to. Her action sequences are still great. She still looks like she's having a ton of fun when she's flying through the air with her swords while her clones are dying all around her. And it's just like everything's just kind of working.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, they're using all the tools that they can, right? They're playing with this new tool of 3D. They're using bullet time a fuckload.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think if you took the bullet time and, you know, slow motion out of this movie, it would be like
45 minutes.
It was 45 minutes for sure.
I mean, there's moments in it where it's
great.
like.
I fucking love it. Yeah, I just eat it all up because it's like, of fucking course. Of course you would make it 3D. Of course you would use bullet time. Of course you would use the exact, Wesker would use the exact turn his shoulder at the last minute as he's dodging a bullet move. Like, they're not dodging any, you know, anything that they're mimicking. They're saying, no, we like that. That's a good shot. That's a cool shot. That's a cool move. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take 2 of those. And it's like, fucking right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I also felt a little bit like someone somewhere found a high-speed camera and was like, and just filmed water, like rain or something, in a high-speed camera. Was like, oh, this looks really cool. Let's do this loads in this film, because there's like there's shots of like for no reason where the character's just standing there for a good like 15-20 seconds whilst water just falls from the air, and
it looks cool,
nothing
else happens.
It looks cool.
Looks cool. That's all that fucking matters. What else do you want from this movie?
All right, let's move on to the third movie in this thing, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So the third movie in this is really Alice, Claire, and Chris Redfield versus Wesker. They finally find the boat where everyone was supposed to be saved. Turns out it was a big trap. Oh yeah, Kmart is there. Everyone's favorite character. You gotta save Kmart.
Yeah, and God damn it.
if you-
Like, they said her name once in the last one, I was okay with it. When you keep referring to her as Kmart, I'm like, yeah, that's a stupid fucking name. Like, I remember
Oh yeah.
she had a line and it's like, I didn't like my real name, and you went with a new name and you chose Kmart.
It
They
is kind of
chose
funny.
Kmart for her, but it's like, and you kept it?
Yeah.
Kmart.
Shorten it to K.
Yeah,
You know-
that would be better.
Or
But anyway,
Mart.
so they get to, or Mart. All right, so they get to the boat, and they find all the people, and they're like, all right, everything's gonna be great. We have all these survivors. Little warning, just like with the clones, don't get attached. They have all the survivors. Everybody's great, and they got to go fight Wesker. They're finally gonna fight Wesker, and
Who's randomly alive as well.
and did I do my
T-virus,
Wesker apology? Did I actually record my Wesker apology from last week, or did I only say that before we started recording?
Can't
I
remember.
think you said it before. Yeah.
Okay, so I heard back from you, the listeners. Apparently, you did not like my take on Wesker and that he's the worst villain in both TV and video game history. I might have been a little harsh, but I mean that with love. I still hold by my statement that he is the worst in both TV and video game history. But I mean that in a good way. Does that make sense? Like, he's so bad, he's amazing. Like, every horrible decision possible piled into one ridiculous character is the worst thing ever. But because of that, I love it. Does that soften the blow, or did that the fact that I don't think that he's cool is still gonna suck?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did I just dig the hole deeper?
Yeah. I'll soften it by I'm kind of with you. I don't know about worst ever, but he's awful, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
You
Right?
can't have any other villain for this movie because it's gotta be him. It's gotta be this guy.
You gotta have the villain who's gonna take off his sunglasses just to throw him at a dude and then catch him before they get there for no reason.
I just, he's perfect, and I'm glad we've changed Weskers. I like this new Wesker.
Yeah. He was in part 3, which I'm not sure if you rewatched. He was there for a little bit though. That's
actor.
what
Oh, was it
Wesker
him?
came
I thought it
from.
was a different actor.
It was a
Pretty sure
different
it's the
actor.
same. Oh, was
No,
it the same actor?
No,
It
different
wasn't the
actor.
same actor? Okay, that explains why I didn't have my Val Kilmer vibes this time.
Yeah, it
thought
wasn't.
I
So
looked
you're
it
right.
up. I might
Low
be
budget
wrong.
Val Kilmer / Slim Shady.
Yeah, this guy, if this was because I just thought he got better, but if this is the different guy, then
No, I
cool.
think it's a recast.
Yeah, it's
Then-
definitely a
then-
recast.
Then they made the right choice. But so the movie that ends with Chris and Claire Redfield versus Wesker, and it's like, oh, suddenly we're playing the video games again. Like, Alice is knocked out essentially, and now we're just gonna watch Redfields from Resident Evil 1 and 2 versus Wesker from Resident Evil 1 and fucking every other game in the series, and then I think 2, and I'm not sure if he's in 3 or not. But anyway, Wesker's all over the fucking place in the video games. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool fan service, I guess. I mean, right? It's not the best fight. Like, I think every fight in this movie and in the franchise has been better than this one, but it is kind of cool seeing these characters on screen.
Yeah, and there's other stuff too. There's the splitting dogs, and
Yeah.
that's kind of something else too. They don't take too much time up, but they're kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're kinda
every
fun.
zombie had that sort of flower mouth effect in this one.
Yeah, I think
I
they're
call him
big fans
Squid
of...
Face.
Ooh, Squid Face, I like that. I just called it Blade 2.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
when did Blade 2 come out again?
Before this.
Way before this, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
man,
it was
yeah,
before
I should've
Resident
put-
Evil.
I should have put that in my breakdown because there's definitely
Yeah.
some Blade 2 moments
There's
in this.
definitely some Blade 2. I mean, the swords...
Yeah,
Yeah.
just all Blade. Yeah.
Yeah, everything but Blade 3. There's no devil in this one, but, not devil, Dracula.
That would
But
be
if I remember
different.
rightly, in Blade 3, isn't Dracula played by the other brother from Prison Break?
Holy fuck, you're right.
Oh man. All right, internet, supercut me right now.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. And you know what? Just throw in some Legends of Tomorrow while you're at it, because they're
Yeah.
both in that as well.
That's so funny though that those two actors are now forever linked together because of Prison Break, and it's like, oh, we brought in Wentworth Miller. Oh, let's bring in Dominic Purcell as well. It's like,
You might as well. I mean, don't expect him to stick to any script you hand him, but he's going to turn in a pretty good performance.
Do you reckon they get to set one day and like, yeah, this is going to be great fun, and they see each other and go, oh, for fuck's sake, again?
I don't need him to act.
Dude, I
but
love
I am
you,
glad
but
he's here.
seriously, I want to act in something without you.
But they have such good chemistry together. Like, they're so good. Doesn't matter. What have we missed? I'm sure we missed something in this. Is there something that we really haven't talked that much about? We didn't really spend any time on Chris Redfield because neither does the movie.
Yeah. It's not real.
He's
Chris,
your brother, remember? Nope. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
my name's Chris. Next.
Yep. Yep. That's pretty much it.
My name's Chris. I'm your brother. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
And
going to
there's
go
a
over
little-
there.
We did miss the weird heart device things.
Oh yeah, and we forgot.
Chest
Got to
blanky
mention Jill
things.
Valentine as well.
Oh yeah, super Jill Valentine.
What?
Jill Valentine.
Super evil Jill Valentine.
Yes, super evil Jill Valentine is back.
Hmm.
Well, I
Did I
guess not
miss
back.
something?
She was. There is a mid-credit sequence where you see that the person on the helicopter that's attacking the boat is Jill Valentine from Part 2, and she's got one of those red things on her chest. Her boobs are still popping out of her shirt, and her hair is blonde now.
I missed
she's
that.
coming to kill Alice. Yeah,
I wanted to get rid of that song that was playing really quickly.
You should watch that scene. She has a very good James Bond chew the scenery sort of vibe to her. She's a lot of fun in the upcoming films.
Oh, nice.
I do
wonder where
appreciate
she
this
went
movie.
with her inappropriate costume.
Well, she threw that
It's a
one away and got a
different
different
costume.
one. Yeah, she got a
Yeah.
different inappropriate costume.
With her new hair. So.
yeah, got to get the
And-
new hair in there too. Because I didn't recognize it when the first time I saw this. I'm like, who the fuck was that? And then
Yeah.
I had to look it up. I'm like, oh, it was Jill,
I was like, she
everyone's
looks familiar, but she's
favorite
blonde.
character.
Right. But now she's evil, so maybe that'll help.
She's all over Part 5, and it's pretty fun. At least parts of it are. I really did not enjoy 5 when I haven't seen it a second time. I've only saw it in theaters, and I bought it for my wife on Blu-ray. So that's my extent with 5 and 6 for that matter. So I'm going to be rewatching with all of you.
So is 5 the one that you said is the bottle episode?
I've said that many times. I'm being very mean to the movie with that analogy, but it is. You'll see what I mean, I think, when you watch it. It is more than that, but I also say it was a bottle episode because the advertising for the movie was "Evil goes global," and no, it fucking doesn't.
Evil goes global in one room.
Yeah, evil goes into one bunker, and that's where they spend the entire movie. But that's neither here nor there because they do. It doesn't feel like that, but it also kind of is that. You'll get it next week. Anything else you want to wrap up on this movie, or should we move into best kill?
I mean, there's a few moments in this film where it's just like these decisions you've made had to be perfectly timed to not fuck up completely. Like where Luther pulls the door down whilst Alice is sliding underneath, and she just makes it under. And I keep thinking, like, if this is a bit, like, I want to see the mistimed versions of that where she gets caught halfway through and then the zombies just like swarm on her, and and then Luther's like, oh shit, I mistimed that.
But Alice is like, I never have a problem with any of that sort of shit in these movies because I'm just like, Alice is a badass. She's not going to time it wrong.
No, I'm not worried about Alice timing it wrong. I'm worried about the guy pulling the door down timing it wrong.
But he's an
cares about
athlete,
guy-
bro.
Yeah, who cares about the guy pulling the door down?
Luther.
Alice is involved. She won't mistime it. Alice has got it.
There's a
In
lot
Alice
of
we
throwing
trust.
of guns as well. Like, oh, we need guns. Okay, let's get a load of guns. Like, all right, I'm going to shoot these guns and I'm going to throw them away.
There are more bullets. I mean, maybe not like here right now, but there are bullets that exist
Nah.
somewhere. Okay.
And there's also
Yeah.
more guns that exist somewhere. I'll pick them up when I need them.
Yep. Oh, you're right. I mean,
It's a
they might
zombie
not
apocalypse.
fit-
Guns are everywhere.
They might not fit in your custom holsters, but the ones that you have now.
They're-
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
they're
That's fine.
malleable.
We'll just move on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
move on.
elastic.
Velcro, my friend.
Magnets.
Oh, magnets. There you go. Magnets, bitch. Yeah, that's great. Matt just cracked it. All right, let's move into best kill. I went first for the first thing today. Graham, why don't you go first? Best kill.
I mean, oh my gosh, with these movies, there's just so many. But Opicix is it's my favorite thing that keeps coming up, which is her coin shotguns. And one of my favorite moments of that is just her be like, "Oh, it's a hobby that I collect these coins." You're like, wait, what is this leading to? So the best kill with that is when she shoots the big axe dragger guy, shoots him in half with one blow of the quarter shotgun.
It's pretty fucking cool.
It's pretty awesome. And it's like in that moment, she's kind of like, "Listen, Allie, you haven't shot this correctly. I know you've shot him twice now with a shotgun, but this is how you do it."
Yeah.
She does it in one blow.
It reminded me
It's
of the second one did that. It was like where Jill Valentine tries to blow up the zombie dogs, and it's like the match goes out, and then it's like Alice comes along like, "Nah, this is how you do it."
Exactly.
But I feel like in this one, after the scene was done, Alice should have just looked at her and went, "Aim." Just aim.
Hey, Alice can't tell anyone to aim. Have you seen what she does? She's just like, I'll just flail around and shoot guns.
Does she miss?
No, only because there's the amount of saturation of zombies. It's like, you can't.
Does she miss? The answer is no. Your complaint is invalid. What's your best kill?
Well, my best kill was the same one as Graham, so I'll go with another one, and it will be around the shotguns again, and I'll go with the first time she uses them, and like because it's like, again, it's like Graham was saying, you've got that setup of like I just like to collect these, and it's kind of like, okay, that's a bit of an odd thing. I wonder if it will actually come back, or if it's just a random thing, because you never know with these films if stuff is actually set up, or if it's literally just, this is just a random thing we'll throw in for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's just the way that like you see them go off, and there's just this massive devastation. Then you can see the slow motion, the coins going through the air, and like, oh, that's why she was collecting them. And then just the coins sticking in the blood-soaked quarter sticking in the wall as well. It was a nice little shot. And then Luther looking at it like going, "Whoa,
that's a cool hobby."
yeah."
Much better than collecting watches like I do.
So my best kill is I'm gonna go for a different route, and mine's kind of a cheat because he doesn't technically die, but he should have. And it's gonna be at the end of the Wesker fight when Chris and Claire are just standing there looking at him with their guns, and they just start unloading their guns into him, just bang, 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 bang. It's like,
and roll credits. We'll be here for a while.
Shoot him in the head. Just shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Just keep shooting him in the chest. He survives all chest wounds. Just
I mean,
shoot
he'd
him in the
already been
head.
shot in the head though. Like you could see that he had no brain left. He had a big ass hole in his head.
I guess that's fair. But either way, I love that shot.
Just keep shooting him in the head. What the hell?
Yeah, the slow pull away with them just shooting him just so casually. I'm like, this is fucking cool. I'm into it.
Yep.
That has reminded me though of something that I forgot to mention, and it's just the fact that Wesker like healed up after all that, but he managed to get out of the locked room and into one of those helicopters with nobody noticing.
Well, considering that Alice had time to pull out the massive nuke?
Wall bomb.
Yeah. And put it in the helicopter. I'm assuming they kind of let him leave.
I think Alice let him leave because the other two came out running with their guns. They're like, "Oh no, he's getting away! Shoot him in the chest some more!" And Alice is like, "Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's gonna die now. He's definitely going to die this time." Wink.
I just don't understand how he got out though, because they shot the lock as well. Because it's the same room that "I'm a producer" guy was in.
Back door.
Yeah. He used the Wesker door.
Or his chair is a door.
That's
or
right,
something.
yeah. I forgot about the Wesker door.
He has a Dr. Evil fucking egg chair. It doesn't matter. He got out.
Yeah, that's all. He got out. Stop questioning it. We've reached fuck it. I said so in the beginning of the episode.
I keep forgetting to not question anything in these films. I think I'm expecting too much reality.
The moment you're like, well, does that? It works. Because if you just fly with it, it's totally fine. And then you're just like, I'm having fun. Everybody's having fun. We're just having fun.
Yeah, the moment you pull one thread on this sweater, you're just sitting there with a pile of thread and it's somehow on fire. Just leave the thread alone. All right, so let's go with best Alice moments, and I'm gonna go for what you guys used as your best kill, and I'm gonna go with the just kind of all encompassing the quarter shotgun. It's fucking cool.
Yep.
I love the sound effect to it. I love the slow motion of the coins like flipping through the air. They look somehow gold for some reason. You get that pling, 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 pling,
Yeah, it reminded me of
sound like it's cool. I'm into it.
It reminded me of like the sound effect they put on slot machines in films.
Yeah,
where they win.
Exactly.
It reminded me so much of that.
Yeah, you're spot on. What's your best Alice moment?
Mine is where she kicks the plate of broken glass at the zombie dog.
I had that one too. That was good.
It's so fucking good.
And
it's like,
talking about sound with that too. There's such a good, satisfying clunk.
Yeah, that
sound. Yeah.
It's like that should have shattered with how much you kicked it, but I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
already
where it ended.
It's
No, it's all in the
glass.
feathering. It's all in the feathering. She feathered it.
Feathered
she
it
kicked
like
it
a
with
bullet.
force, but feathered it. Just like bending bullets.
Oh boy, you didn't mention that Wanted was also in this.
Oh yeah, bit of Wanted in there.
Yeah, just a tinge.
I'm just saying, any. Yeah, they had. You're like, all right, we're coming up with a Resident Evil 4 movie.
Let's go to Blockbuster.
Right. Yeah, exactly. What are your favorite action sequences? Let's do all of them.
Let's put it all in a blender and see what comes out.
And on that topic, my best Alice moment would be the whole Matrix lobby gunfight sequence with katanas.
Yeah.
'Cause fuck you. That's awesome. That whole fucking sequence. You're like, hey, guys, you know what fight sequence was really cool? The Matrix lobby sequence when they were just blazing guns through the whole fucking lobby. You know what would make that better? If she had some fucking swords, bro.
I'm pretty sure it went down if she had a katana. 2 katanas. 2
Ooh,
katanas.
2 katanas. And then we could do a bullet
those-
time where one bullet shoots one in half, and then she throws that half into the dude's head, and he's wearing a helmet. And you're like, yeah, great, done. Let's shoot it. I don't know why we aren't already shooting this.
I don't know what
I haven't shot it yet.
those swords look like they looked too big though, and because they looked too big, they looked really unwieldy.
Matt, you're carrying too much. Let it go, man.
Stop
Let
it.
Go.
Did you
Stop
think it was cool? Did you?
It was
Did you
cool.
think it looked cool?
It
Great,
looked
done.
cool.
That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah,
All
let
that
it go.
matters.
I mean, I did like at one point as well. There's like a guard, one guard randomly dual wielding like M4 rifles, and you're just like, okay, like did he just like pick up one of the ones that was on the floor? Or did he just have that as to begin with?
That's his loadout. He's good to go.
Yeah. It's like there's like everyone's like, where'd you get the second gun from? Oh yeah, I unlocked the akimbo combination.
Right.
I have it in my briefcase. Somebody asked me, what am I selling? I'm like, I'm not selling anything. I'm buying. What are you buying? I'm going way too into the games here.
I was just going to go with 30 Rock of like, I need 2 mugs.
I make that reference all the time, and no one ever fucking gets it. I'm just like, come on, I'm holding 2 coffee mugs. How do you not understand this same one joke from 5 years of a television show?
I don't know what to do with my hands. I need 2 mugs.
I need 2 mugs. It's one of his best moments in the entire show.
It's so good.
All right, I think that's pretty much everything I had for this one. I think we should probably move on to let's tease next week a little bit, and then we'll do some plugs and we'll say goodbye. So next week's episode is going to be Resident Evil.
What? Another one?
Retribution.
Retribution.
Sounds like a really intense title. I wonder what they're going to be retributing. That's a word.
Life, Bryan.
My
Life of
my
Bryan.
review of it's the life of Bryan. I've been very hesitant about this one. This movie was the reason I almost didn't want to do Resident Evil as a series for this, because I really, really did not enjoy this one in theaters. But I'm actually cautiously excited for it this time. Even the Metacritic score is 2 points higher than the one that we just watched. The one we just watched was 37. Next week is 39. So things are looking good.
They're all around the same area, right? They're all in like the mid to late 30s from so
with
far.
the exception of 3. The 3 and 6 are both in the 40s.
Oh, were they really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Ah.
6 is the highest reviewed, and I don't think it's very good, but we'll see.
Is that just a case of, oh, well, we're just kind of used to this by now, so, you know, it gets a bit more of a pass?
Again, I need to rewatch it, because when I watched it, I was like, I don't like what happened here, because I was really excited for the end of what 5 teased, and this isn't that. But we'll get into that. We got 2 more weeks of this show. We'll get there. Let's do a quick round of plugs. I will go first. I have something very different to plug than normal. I'm plugging a show that's not my own. I know, I never do that. I'm telling you to check out the Front Row Network, where I guest interviewed the new writer of Superman for the DC Comics, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Whoa.
It was a very, very fun interview. This guy has made me so excited for the next chapter of Superman. And that's not to discredit what's come before. Of course, Brian Michael Bendis is an amazing writer. He's done a really interesting job with Superman. Wasn't necessarily my take on Superman or what I look for in Superman, but it was a very good story. But I'm really excited to get back to what this guy was talking about. That episode should come out on March, I think the second Tuesday in March, the same day that his book officially hits the stands. So be sure to look for that. Go to the Front Row for that and pretty much everything that they do at the Front Row. They're a fantastic podcast network and really good friends of our shows. So be sure to check them out. Otherwise, be sure to check us out, athpod.com, where you can find this show and every other show on the ATH network, including shows like Demon Days, Damage Boost, Behind the Hype. Tons of shit there, all times, always fun. Graham, what you plugging?
Oxygen.
Nothing. Yeah, Oxygen. Good. O2, not O3. O3's,
Not Oxygen.
yeah, that's that's high octane, if you will.
Matt?
I mean, I don't know how to follow that up, really, but I will say, yeah, read articles I wrote.
Cool.
Damn, that's solid. That is a solid fucking plug.
It's 5:14 in the morning. I've had 4 hours sleep. I just brain no working will.
That's understandable. All right. Well, I think we should say goodbye.
All right.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Star power, bitches.